Hello everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wanted to do a free tutorial just to give you all a chance to see how online training works and how we can study this way and make the most of our time at home to help develop our skills. My name's Jesse Bruner. I'm owner of JDB Nail Shop in Wilmington, Delaware. So the design that we're doing today is a watercolor effect with soak-off gel polish. So I'm using your traditional gel polish. This has a sticky layer. The brand is Gelish. The colors I'm going to use is Merci Bouquet and Just Me and My Piano. So I have two different purple tones. And what I mean by watercolor effect with gel polish, with Gelish, is that we start off with a diluted version of the color, and then we slowly add the intensity to the color with adding more and more pigments, and then finally the full strength color. So this is it's a design that's part of my new online class, which is a Vivid Watercolor Flower Edition. So I have a new online class coming, but I just wanted to show you one of the more simple designs. You can see it's just 4 petals, and this will give you a chance to have something new to practice. Hey, Amy. Hello, Marcia. So nice to see you all here. So we will need... You're going to need a white nail tip. If you don't have a white nail tip, of course, you can just use any color tip and paint with white. But if you have a white nail tip, it's much more easy because you already have a background. We're going to need a soak-off gel polish. We're going to need a palette. So I have a piece of glass. So we need colors, we need Top It Off, we're going to need cleanser, we will need lint-free nail wipes, and we need a dappen dish. And then the brushes that I'm using are the micro striper brush and the mini gel striper brush. So it's a fine liner brush and then a little bit bigger brush, that's my coloring brush. And that's all we need. So before we paint the nail on the tip, I want to show a little bit about the shape of the petals. Because it makes it easier if you've never painted like this before with gel polishes. It's a good idea to practice by sketching it first. So let's see. Let me know, you guys, if you can see everything well and if you can hear me well. Zoom a little bit. Hola, Carla. Okay, so if we imagine our nail, so you can see on the samples, we never put the flower directly in the center. We always want to position it to one side or the other or in a corner. It helps to have a better composition. So we can make the center of our flower somewhere here. So our first petal is going to have a round top and then 2 sides. It can have a side that's parallel with the direction line, or it can have a side that has an S-curve shape. Hola, Carla. Espero verte pronto también. Hi, Lori. So we have the first petal. And then the second petal is going to be behind the first one. So it has one side that we can see, and then the other side we have to imagine it's behind the first petal. Now the third petal we'll put in this direction. And then the 2 sides. And then the fourth petal can go behind, somewhere back here. And then it's connecting to the third petal there. So now we can erase some of the sketch lines. So we're going to start by drawing these shapes with the really light color. So you can see when you look in the center, it starts with a really faded version of the color. And then we're going to add the intensity, mostly from the outer edges, as you can see. So we start in the upper corner. If I can zoom now. Okay. Then we start in the upper corner. And we're going to bring the first color down to about 2/3 of the petal. So we're just really going to leave the center part without any color. So we'll do that on all of the petals. So this shadow will be done with a really light version of the color first. So we'll do all 4 petals. And then we'll start to add even darker color to the outer edge of the petals. To start on the top, I usually pick the highest point of the petal for the darkest part of the color. Carla, vamos a trabajar con el esmalte semipermanente. So es efecto acuarela con gel. So we'll do all 4 petals like that. But you notice that the darker shadow, it stays inside the lighter shadow. So you want to have you want to almost split this shadow in half and have a more intense shadow. And then after that, for this design, we don't have very much darkness in the center, so we're just going to do a dark line, a Swarovski in the middle, and then you can see a couple of these decorative geometric designs, which are totally optional. Carla, esas líneas son with gel paint. Están hecho. So wherever you want. You can make them vertical or horizontal. And you can do dots, any other little decorative things. So it's just really good to practice the shape of the petals before you start because it helps. So now let's see the colors. Zoom in a little. So I have 2 different lavender colors. I have my palette. And then next to those colors, I'm going to top it off. And we have the mini gel striper. So I'm going to start, like I said, with the lighter tone. So I just take the light color, let's see, Merci Bouquet. And I'm going to use this mix just to sketch the flower. So we have our white tip, but before we work on the white tip, we need to buff the shine off the surface. So I have my buffer. So you want to buff in small, soft motions. Not too hard. And then we just take lint-free wipe and wipe off the dust. So obviously when you're buffing the nail tip, you want to take your colors and get them out of the way. Now I just need a few drops of cleanser in the dappen dish. So not too much because the cleanser evaporates, so you don't want to fill up the lid. Hey, Sandy. Okay, so we have the nail tip. So I'm going to sketch with the micro striper brush. So we'll start with the center. And I start with the outer contour line of the petal. So it has a round top. Towards the center. And then the other side of this petal has a shape like an S curve. So I do the outer contour lines. Now I pick up the mini gel striper brush. And I pick up a little bit of the same color. And I just color this in just by lightly connecting to the sketch line and filling in the rest of the petal. So we don't want to use a lot of pressure. And this is why I mix the color with Top It Off, so that I can get a really smooth color. And I can work with a little bit bigger quantity and I don't have to worry about curing. I don't have to worry about being able to cure, I mean. So, I'm gonna flash cure that. So when I'm doing the whole shape of the petals, the outline of the petals, I always flash cure because that way I can work with one next to the other without them running into each other. So the first 4 petals I always flash cure in between so that they stay still. So you can immediately start painting with the mini gel striper once you know the shape of the petals, or you can start with the micro striper. So I'll show you both. So once you know the shapes and you know what you're doing, you can just start with the coloring brush. Or you can also start with the micro striper brush. You can do your direction line, and you can sketch each side first. Just make sure the end of all of your petals is pointing towards one center in the middle. So now just really light pressure. And you pick up kind of a bigger quantity than we're used to with working with gel polish. But since it's mixed with clear, we don't have to worry about it curing. We don't have to worry about it wrinkling or not being able to cure well. Okay, well, can flash cure that. So if you're working on 2 petals that are far away enough from each other, like let's say this one and over here, then you don't have to flash cure in between. But it's any time that you're working with 2 petals right next to each other, because the gel will just melt together. So now since I want to put another petal back here, I had to flash cure first. So now we'll do one more in the background. So I pick up a pretty big quantity and I push it out to the contour line and then connect it with the center on one side, and then connects with the 3rd petal on the other side. Okay, so now we can fully cure. So now we have the base of the flower. So now I'm going to take the other purple color, me and my piano, and we're going to start to add some color to the outer edges. So you want to mix the color really well with the Top It Off so that you don't have any little like lines of pigment inside. Can you see at first how you can see all the little particles of pigment? If you leave it like that, when you try to do the blending, it's not going to be a soft blending. So you want to make sure that it's mixed really well. So now I'm going to take the micro striper brush and I'm going to start to draw shadows. So we're going to start with the outer contour because you can see that's where we have the more intensive color. I'm going to zoom a little bit. So I just pick up a bead of the color mixed with Top It Off. You can go around the contour. I had some dust there or something. So we can go trace it around the contour. And then we're going to paint about 2/3 of the petal. So we're going to drag this really light color down pretty far. So I just connect with it with my brush and stretch it in the shape of the direction of the petal. And then I'm going to leave the center lighter. So when I get down towards the center, I lift the brush up, clean on my glove. And then just press up and down along the border to blend. But you can see it blends really quickly and easily. So we can go on to another petal. If you want to make the shape of the petal a little more interesting, you can change it right now with this color. So if you want to make one side a little bit wider, or you want to make the petal bigger, and all the way around, clean your brush, and then press on the border. Anytime you want, you can flash cure it. So the total curing time is going to be 30 seconds in an LED light. If you're using a traditional UV, the curing time would be more like 2 minutes. Okay, we can just flash cure. So now I'm just going to move on. So you can change the angle with your brush, or you can turn the nail tip around. Whatever is more comfortable. So you can turn the nail around. And just press on the border. You can use a little bit of cleanser. Anytime you use cleanser, make sure you put clear gel back on your brush. To help to blend the line. And then we just do one more, the 4th petal. So I push out to the contour line, outline the petal, clean my brush, and then blend. Carla, si quiere trabajar con rojo y amarillo, yo recomiendo que tiene un poco de naranjo entre los dos colores. So the question is, how can I work with contrasting colors such as red and yellow? And my advice is to mix a little bit of orange and put that in between the red and the yellow. Because then you have an easier transition between the colors. So actually I would make 3 colors if I wanted to work with really high contrast colors like that. So after we do some shadows on the outside edge, now we can add a little bit to the center. And this, because I think the center is a really smaller area, I'm going to use the micro striper brush. Okay, we can see, I'm zoomed in a little too much there. Okay. So now we can start from the middle. Let's see. And we can highlight the inner contour of the petals. And you can also make a little shadow to help separate the petals. So now we can see that we have upper and lower petals. So anywhere you want to add more color, you can just draw it in with the micro striper and then blend it with the mini gel striper. Okay, so now we can cure that. Now we'll fully cure it. Camera's moving. No, Carla, it's a Merci Bouquet, but I love It's a Lily too. But that one's a little bit darker. Okay, so now we've fully cured the base of our flower. So now I'm going to use the full strength color, just me and my piano, not mixed with Top It Off. So now I'm going to use the pure purple color. And I'm using the micro striper brush because now we have to work with smaller amounts and work more precisely to make the outer contour of the petal a little bit sharper. So just go into the color, pick it up on my brush. And we're placing it in the same place. Let me just make sure I'm on camera. I'm going to zoom out so it sharpens. A little bit. So I'm placing the color in the same place, just using less. So you draw it with the micro striper, and then we need the mini gel striper to blend it because we need the pressure and we need more hairs to work with. So we just touch the border. You can use cleanser too. And now with the micro striper, so you see, if I try to use the micro striper to blend, the hairs aren't heavy enough. So that's why I need the bigger brush too. So we use the mini gel striper. Hello, Bonnie. Thanks for joining us. Now we'll do the same thing on the third and the fourth petal. Trying to stay on camera and concentrate. Okay. So we draw the shadows everywhere and then just pick up the brush and touch the borders. So we'll flash cure that. Meanwhile, I'll clean my brush. So we always want to try to avoid using cleanser. We want to clean our brush mostly with clear gel. So anytime you need to use cleanser to clean the color out of your brush, you want to make sure that you put the clear gel back, because the clear gel will keep the cleanser from evaporating and drying out your brush. So anytime you have to use a solvent because you get some pigments in the brush, you need to put clear gel back in your brush. Okay, so now we have some darker color on the outer edge. Now we'll do the same thing in the center. Hey, Danielle. Different colors this time. So I have to make sure that I cured the outer edge before I do the center, because you can't press on the center without touching the outer edge. So we have to be able to blend. So anytime you're working in like a tight area or with two elements close together, you have to flash cure in between. So now I'm just using some of the full strength color. So it's me and my piano, not mixed with Top It Off. Just to give more definition to the center. And then you can take the mini gel striper and you can just blend anywhere you need to. Okay. So now we're going to cure that for 30 seconds. So now the flower is ready. The last thing we have are the black lines, which I used Artform gel paint in black. So it's black gel paint with no sticky layer. And this container is really convenient because if you're not mixing the color, you can work with it really easily because it has this little lip where you can load your brush. Hello, Dana Lynn. Hello, Shannon. So I'm going to leave this video up on my page for about a week or so you guys will be able to watch back from the beginning. So the first thing I'm going to do with the gel paint is, well, first I need to make a small place on my brush where I can pick up a really tiny amount. So it's kind of like a palette that's close to me. And I want to put a Swarovski in the middle, so I'm going to start by doing a small circle, which will highlight the Swarovski stone. So we can see. And then I'll just do a couple of lines. I think we'll do horizontal line. And we can do one vertical line too. Let's see. We can just turn the tip around. I would definitely turn my client's hand around to do this. Usually what I do with the clients is I try to figure out everything I can do with their hand one direction, and then maybe I have to turn their hand to do several elements all at once. So I try not to have them turning their hand back and forth constantly. So try to be smart about it. So I do the outer edge of one line. Because I want to do one line a little bit thicker and then another line thinner. And now we can color it in. The art form's a great consistency to work with. It doesn't run. It doesn't require any like prep or mixing. Well, you have to stir it, but you don't have to mix it with water or keep it on a wet palette. So I think it's really convenient in the salon. I just pick up a little more. Make sure you guys can see. Okay, so look and cure that. Art form cures for 30 seconds, the same as Gelish, same as Soak Off Gelish. Okay, so again, now I'm going to clean my brush. So into the cleanser. Wipe the excess of cleanser. And then I use clear gel. Hey, Dana Lynn, thank you. Thanks for watching. Hello, Classic. Hello, Gail. I hope so too, Carla. I hope so too. Okay, so we have the base of our flower, and we have the accent lines. So now we can seal our design. So I'm going to seal with matte Top It Off. Of course, you could use glossy. I think so far all the other ones I used glossy, but I'm going to do with matte this time. And I want to put Swarovski in the middle, so I'm going to get them ready. Now I'm just going to paint the matte Top It Off over the surface. Pick up a little with my brush. Pick up a Swarovski. Okay. So you can see the black dot in the middle kind of helps to highlight the Swarovski. I'm just going to move it. Okay. So now we cure that for 30 seconds. So you see this design can work with different colors. I really like it with pinks and oranges. It's really nice for spring. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of the matte top coat and put it on my palette. So we need to make sure that we reinforce the Swarovski so it doesn't have any sharp edges. So what I'm going to do with a little bit more top coat is I'm just going to reinforce this area where it has the... Reinforce this area where you see the little corner on the side of the stone. If we leave that, then the clients can pick at it, and we all know what happens. So I have a little bit of top coat on my palette and the micro striper brush. And I'm just going to draw around it. And then clean your brush. You can wipe off any excess. Okay, then we just cure that. Then the design's ready after we cleanse. So I have a new class coming that will be ready by the end of the week. It's a new edition of one of my most popular classes, the Vivid Watercolor Effect that I released last spring. Let me zoom out so you can see. So this is Vivid Watercolor Flower Edition. So I'm working on a few more designs with it. We have lots of different roses, hibiscus flower. I'm going to show some designs on dark backgrounds. It's going to be about 4 to 5 hour course, and it'll be available by the end of the week. So this is basically the beginning level, the base design. So I hope you guys will like it. And if you want any information, just send me a private message, or you can comment under this live video that you want more info. Once the class is released, it's going to cost $50, but it'll be lifetime access. But for everybody who watches this live video, if you write me that you'd like to join, you can join for $35 until the video is released. So that at that point, I'll take down the live video and that offer will be gone. But so for now, you can join for $35, and you can learn for 4 or 5 hours. Just another, different patterns we can learn, different color combinations, how to work with neons, how to work on dark backgrounds. And if I get enough interest, I will do it in English and Spanish. So if there's enough people who are interested, I'll make it bilingual too. So thank you again for watching and joining, and I hope you liked our flower. And I hope you get a chance to practice. I want to see your practices. You can post them in my inbox, or you can post to the wall too. But if you want critiques, send me a private message, because I'm not going to give critiques like on my public page. So, but I encourage you to practice, and let me know if you have any questions. And have a wonderful day. And thank you again for watching.